Hi friends, welcome to my experiments. I'm not really sure what else to call this, but I'm going to spend a few days this upcoming week trying to find the perfect hobby that pairs with audiobooks. There's two things that I already love doing when I listen to my audiobook, so I'm going to be revisiting some old favorites, but also trying new things because at the beginning of the year I made a goal to try 8 new hobbies and I have done one new hobby, which is sourdough. The hobbies that I already love doing while listening to audiobooks are building puzzles and I love playing video games. So I will be throwing those in the mix. The other 4 hobbies that I want to try while listening to an audiobook is paint by numbers, diamond painting, crocheting, and cross stitching. I have never crocheted anything. My friend sent me one of the little Google packets for my birthday, so I'm going to give that a try. I already have a paint by numbers that I picked up at the craft store not too long ago, and I have a couple diamond painting sets that I have never touched, never done before in my life, and that I've never cross stitched, but I have a beginner's kit that has 3 different cross stitch patterns in it. So I decided to make this a little more scientific for myself because that's my life. I just thrive in the scientific setting. So I am going to be rating this by difficulty of task. I'm going to be listing the supplies, the cleanup, if it's really messy or super easy to put away, the expense if it's more on the higher end of things, if I would continue this task past an hour, and how many times I had to pause my audiobook during that task. So the experiment is I'm going to set up the project entirely what I need. I'm going to time myself for an hour doing that task while listening to an audiobook, also keeping track of how many times I need to pause the audiobook. Then I will give you feedback on all the other criteria. I think that this is the best way for me to judge it. Also comparing this to the 2 things that I already know I love doing while listening to an audiobook. Plus, it's been a while since I've done a puzzle, so I think this is the perfect time for me to do a puzzle. I'm just hoping by the end of this video I don't have a bunch of unfinished tasks that I need to do. But we are going to start with paint by numbers first. I'm excited for this because I got such a cute little set, so let's go to my table. So I found this kit at Hobby Lobby. It is a little Frenchie, but he's like neon and wearing glasses. How cute is he? But it comes with everything that I need. I have all the paint and brushes in the back, which I super appreciate. So I'm going to open this up. I have my version of paper towels and a little cup of water on the table so I can clean my brushes as I go. So I'm gonna set my timer for an hour. I also have 2 dogs that love to go in and out while I'm sitting at the table, so I will be getting up periodically to let them in and out. I'm not gonna pause my audiobook or my timer for that because that's silly, because I can listen while I'm doing that. The book that I'm listening to is Anathema by Carrie Lake. I am really enjoying this book. It is so dark. It kind of reminds me of like Tea Kingfisher, Nettle and Bone, but exactly what I wanted and more, because it is just takes that extra step, and there's so much unique world building in this book, so I've been enjoying it a lot. I'm about 50% through. I have 10 hours left on the audiobook, but I listen at 1.8 speed, so probably about 7 hours left. I am going to get completely set up so you guys can see what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. Well, within an hour, I've gotten some parts done. It might be a little bit easier if I don't go by number, but that just makes the most sense to me. So I'm only on number 2 of 18, and I'm not even done with number 2. I think I'm going to finish number 2 on my paint by numbers, and then I will start our next hobby that we're gonna dive into. So I finished painting, so I just have 1 and 2, and it feels like every time I look at it, I keep finding the numbers that I've already done. So I'm just gonna leave it where it is, and we're gonna move on to the next hobby. I really know what I want to do, but I think just to keep things kind of fair, I want to use a wheel. So we're gonna spin the wheel, and it's gonna tell me what to do next. I don't know what it says. Diamond painting. Okay, let me clean up my mess from my paint by numbers, and then I will go grab my diamond painting options. I decided I'm going to do the bookmarks, and I have never done diamond painting before. The instructions seem simple enough. But here we go. Let me pick out my bookmark. I got this set off of Amazon. I will try to link it down below in the comments. It is super cute. I think there's 9 different bookmarks. But my thing is, like, I wish that the way that it was set was you have a pack of beads for each bookmark. Instead, you have a pack of the beads for the whole kit. I don't know. Maybe I like how it's packaged. I don't know. Oh, I guess I only have 4 in here. I thought it was like 9 for some reason. It's probably better. It's probably better for me as a beginner that I only have 4. Let's just pick the green one. There's a lot of really large gems on here, and hopefully I can get this done in like an hour. I don't know though. And then I have a singular tray, but I think I'm only going to be doing 1 bead at a time. That seems to be the most logical thing to do. Yeah, I'm not really sure how this works with the dipping of the glue and how it's going to stick to the thing, but I will figure it out. Okay. I finished it with 24 minutes to spare, so I think I'm gonna start another one, and then I'll just finish that one. This one was pretty easy because the gems were really large in the middle, but since it was my first time, that's what I wanted to do. But I think it's really cute, and then it just sits on the corner of a book. So far, I have not paused my audiobook. I've been able to listen straight through while doing this. I think this is fun. This is a fun little task to do while listening to an audiobook. It is pretty tedious though, picking up 1 gem at a time and then putting it on there. I think I'm gonna do another one, or at least start another one, and see how far I get in the 24 minutes that I have left. My timer just went off. Oh crap, I missed a bunch. I'm almost done. I'm missing a couple rings here and then a few gems on the outside here. So I'm just gonna finish this. But for an hour, I finished almost 2 bookmarks. That's pretty impressive, especially for never having done this. I'm pretty proud of what I accomplished. Let me finish this. I will get cleaned up, and then I'm probably gonna make dinner, and I will pick up this little experiment tomorrow. Good morning. So last night I ended up doing some sourdough making because I do prep 2 loaves every week, week and a half. But I also ended up doing some diamond painting while I was sitting waiting in between instruction folds. I'm only 4 colors in, and those 2 colors took me like an hour and a half, but it's coming together. It's really cute. I hope that I can finish this by the end of next week. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sit down and paint this weekend. I don't know what's going to happen. But isn't he so cute? I'm excited for when I get to the glasses and when I get to add more like bright colors. I was happy to add this nice little lime green. It's really cute. This morning we're going to try a different hobby. So let me pull up my wheel. Now I have a procedure this afternoon, very minor procedure, but I don't think I'm going to be feeling the best afterwards. So I'm hoping to film 2 hobbies before my procedure, and then maybe if I'm feeling up for it, do something more cozy that I know I can do while listening to an audiobook, like playing video games. But we'll see. We're going to spin the wheel and see what happens. Video games. Okay, I guess we're gonna play video games right now then. This is an established hobby that I love doing while listening to audiobooks. I do think that the current video game that I'm working on is a little more difficult to listen to an audiobook with because there's a lot of cutscenes. I'm playing Ni no Kuni, The Wrath of the White Witch, but I think that if I was going to play like Stardew Valley, something a little more cozy that I don't have to follow a cutscene or dialogue or anything like that, I think that would be a little bit more fun. So I think I'm going to do 30 minutes with Ni no Kuni because I am invested in this game right now, and then maybe 30 minutes of Stardew Valley, just depending on how I'm feeling. But I'm going to go get set up, and we're going to snuggle the pooches while we play this game. I'm about 35 minutes into playing my video games, and I had to stop because I finished my audiobook. I just finished listening to Anathema. I really enjoyed Anathema. It was dark, eerie, but I liked it. I really did. I like the dark setting. I think that this was perfect for spooky season, and I'm excited for the next book. I definitely will finish the series because I think it's only 2 books in the series. The last page, the last sentence got me, but I will definitely pick up the rest. I'm still going to play Ni no Kuni because I really haven't made that much progress in the 30-ish minutes that I've been playing. But the next book that I'm going to listen to is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is for my book club pick that I need to read by Saturday, so I have about 4 or 5 days to read it. So I'm going to start listening to that and hopefully finish it or make good progress today because I think it's like a 17-hour long audiobook and I need to jump on it. All right, my appointment is in an hour and a half. It's like 10 minutes from my house, so I think I can fit in an hour of hobbies. I have crochet, puzzle, or cross-stitching left. 2 of those I've never done before. One of those I love to do, but the 2 that I've never done before I feel like are going to require a lot of instruction, but let's see what the wheel says. I got puzzle. Cool. But also complicated because I have a ton of puzzles. So I'm going to take you to my puzzle closet and show you what I got going on in there. All right, so we're sitting in my hall closet and oh, I was looking for this and I didn't know where I put it. This is the other diamond painting that I could not find the other day. I found it. It's with my puzzles. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so all of this is puzzles. Some of them I have already done, and yeah, it's just wild. Let me get you in closer here. I'm gonna pick something closer to the top, but also something a little bit smaller because I don't have a lot of time. So I've done the Harry Potter ones. I started the Princess Mononoke one, and it was really hard. I have done the Istanbul Express. I've done this Pokemon one. This is another murder mystery puzzle that I would like to do. I don't remember how many pieces it is, though. I've tried to do this $1 million puzzle. It was really hard. This is a Harry Potter puzzle that I think I've done. I've tried to do this one, and I wasn't successful. The issue is, with this one, it's really hard, and it's 1,500 pieces. Oh look, here. A small 500-piece puzzle It looks a little complex, but I bet I could do it. Okay, so that's an option, and then I have this guy. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for Halloween. Okay, never mind, I'm doing this one. I didn't realize what it looked like. Okay, so we have like a little ghosty dog and some skeletons and a little black cat on the top with some witches stockings drying. It's only 500 pieces. I feel like I can get this done, at least halfway done in an hour. So, all right, this is the one we're doing. I didn't know I had a Halloween puzzle in here. That's perfect. We only have 2 more hobbies left, either cross-stitching or crocheting. I haven't done either one of these. I'm going to do both of them today at some point. I just don't know which one I'm going to do first, so let me spin the wheel. I'm a little nervous for both of these, to be honest, because I know that I'm going to have to pause my audiobook to do a lot of instruction, and I've looked at my cross-stitching once before, and it was just like a bit much. But let's just see. Maybe I will have the best time of my life doing either one. Sorry for the reflection. Okay, we're gonna crochet. We're gonna do our little Dobby Wooble, and I'm excited for him. He's gonna live on my bookshelf after I'm done with him. Hopefully they make this stupid proof because I can crochet a straight line and that's about it. All right, here we go. I haven't listened to my audiobook at all, but I'm crocheting. A bit of a trade-off there, I guess. I'm on to round 2. I definitely thought that this was going to be a little bit easier, but I'm learning something new, so I'm not mad about it. Well, I only got to listen to my audiobook for like 2 minutes while I was getting everything unpacked, but I have done the top of Dobby's head. I'm proud of this. This is complicated. I think once I'm finally starting to get the hang of it, I would be able to sit and listen to an audiobook, but because I am brand spanking new at this, it is a little more difficult. But just as my hour went up, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do this. And then that's right when I was about to throw my audiobook back on and my timer went off. So I guess we need to move on to cross-stitching. I wanted to finish my round just to make sure that I'm at a good stopping point for my crochet project, and I think it's a lot of fun. This is definitely something, like, if I could crochet without having to follow a video, I would definitely sit and listen to an audiobook and do this. It's very tedious and just kind of working with your hands, and yeah, I liked this. This was a fun little experiment. But let's try cross-stitching. I don't know how I'm gonna like this. This one seems pretty complicated too, but let's see. So I picked something a little bit easier, and I can actually see this pattern, so hopefully this will go well. But I'm going to scan this QR code, get some directions. Okay, well, that was useless because it was literally just a video of showing somebody how to do it, but there was no actual instructions. So I guess we're winging it, guys. Oh, God. Okay, well, here we go. All right, audiobook, since there's no instructions to follow. I think that this is a good time to pause because I just finished the second section in my cross stitch. So this was fine once I got it going. It's very mindless. There's only one type of stitch in this specific pattern because it is for beginners. I think that if there was more patterns, it'd be a little bit more complex and I would need more instruction and be pausing more. But I really only paused my audiobook like 3 or 4 times. So not too bad. But now I'm going to chat with y'all and break each hobby down and discuss the criteria that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So I just wanted to kind of recap all of the hobbies that we did in this video. So we did paint by numbers. I feel like it was pretty easy. It's very self-explanatory. The supplies came with the canvas. There was some paintbrushes and some paint. Cleanup was super easy. It was just snapping the paint closed and then washing your brushes. I'd say this was pretty inexpensive. This was $8 and I got it on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure that they have similar products throughout the seasons. I would definitely continue this task past the 1 hour mark, and I did not pause my audiobook at all while doing this. Next, we did some diamond painting on these bookmarks. I would say it was easy, but tedious because you have to place each gem one at a time. The supplies come in the pack, but the packaging was a little weird. That made cleanup a little bit more tedious too, because you have to carefully put the gems not used back into each individual bag, or you can use the smaller baggies that came with it. It was inexpensive, but the prices do vary. I think that this 4-pack of bookmarks was like $15, maybe, if that, but then the large pug one that I got was $7 from Five Below. I would continue the task, and then I only paused my audiobook once just to talk to the camera and tell you guys that I had finished this first bookmark, and then I moved on to the second one. I actually did go over my time a little bit just to finish the second one because I wanted to finish it. I only had a few more gems left. Next, we played video games together. We ended up playing Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch for Switch. I think that was a good choice for me because I had already been playing it. I know I had talked about halfway through, like maybe switching to Stardew Valley is more of a cozy game, but I think that the easiness of this task does depend on the game that you're playing. Obviously, I shouldn't be like trying to play Halo or Battlefront while listening to an audiobook because I need to like communicate with the team. Not that I really play those video games anyway, but I think for the cozier games such as Stardew Valley, there's a new game out where you can build your own little bookshop. I think that those games are great for audiobooks. Ni no Kuni was kind of in the middle because there were a lot of cutscenes. There's not really any supplies for video games other than your console and your game. Cleanup is easy. You just put your controllers where they go. However, this was definitely the most expensive task because consoles are not cheap. Even if you play on PC and you already have that, like you still have to purchase the game. And sometimes games are very expensive. I would definitely continue the task. Like I've said before, this is one of my favorite things to do while listening to an audiobook. And then I had no pauses while I was playing my video games. I just did skip all of the scenes in the video game, which kind of confused me for a little bit, but it worked out in the end. Next, we did a puzzle together. Easiness really just depends on the puzzle. I picked a 500-piece puzzle, and this one was rather easy for me, but I used to do puzzles all the time, and a 1,000-piece puzzle is something I can accomplish in like a day or two if I'm sitting down doing it frequently. The only supplies that you need for this are just the puzzle itself. It is nice to have a puzzle board, though, so you can lay out all your pieces and have somewhere to put them or move them around if you need to. Cleanup is super easy. You just throw it back in the box, but you do need to have the space for the puzzle while you're working on it. Prices vary, but they can be inexpensive. You can get puzzles from the dollar store. I would definitely continue this task because, as I've mentioned, puzzles are some of my favorite things to do while listening to audiobooks. I think that there's something fun where you are recognizing shapes with your mind and listening to an audiobook. I actually have like super vivid memories of like, oh, I was listening to this book while doing this puzzle. It sounds super weird, but that's just how my mind works. Next, we tried crocheting. That was earlier today. This is the top of Dobby's head. I'm so proud of how far I've gotten so far, but it's definitely something I'm gonna need to finish. I want Dobby to live on my shelf. This is really hard for me though. It's hard for a beginner to learn this crocheting, especially because all I've known is how to crochet a straight line, and now I'm making like an actual like ball, which is totally different from what I've ever done before. But thankfully, the Woobles company has a very in-depth tutorial that I was able to follow very easily. They break it down by videos. You can go back as often as you need to. It's great. My kit came with everything that I needed. Cleanup is super easy. You just put it back into the bag. Prices vary. The Woobles is expensive, but I know that Amazon has kits that are cheaper. They're not licensable characters, but they are still cute. I will link the Woobles website and the Amazon equivalent down below. I would definitely continue the task because just as I was getting into crocheting and feeling confident about my skills, I was about to flip on my audiobook, but my hour was up. I think I listened to my book for like 3 minutes while I was unpacking my bag. Other than that, I had my audiobook pause the entire time while watching the video tutorials that this came with. So not a lot of reading done while I was crocheting, but I feel like once I get more competent, it would be something that I could very easily do. And then lastly, we did some cross stitching. Only got these 2 little spots here. That's okay. I would say this is a medium difficulty for a beginner because I didn't know anything. Literally, my directions said your thread comes in 6 strands and pull the strands apart. Okay, and then it says, here's an example of a stitch, and that was it. That was my whole tutorial from the company. There is a QR code and it led me to a YouTube video, but in that video, it just showed somebody doing it. I had to watch a few different tutorials to get this, so I would say medium difficulty with the kit that I used. I'm sure that there are more explanatory kits out there. My kit came with everything that I needed. It came with the thread and the needles. It did clearly label which section is which color. I liked that. Cleanup is easy. I just left everything on the kit. Prices vary. I know that this thread can get pretty pricey if you're buying just the thread and having like multiple colors. So if you're just doing it off the cuff instead of in a kit, it can be very pricey. I would definitely continue this task. I think that this was very easy to do while listening to an audiobook. Once I got the hang of it, I was happy to listen to my audiobook for about 45 minutes, if not longer. I think that I paused my audiobook 3 times to watch a couple different tutorials on how to thread my strands and how to do certain stitches. But other than that, it was fine. I think that the puzzle and the video games are still my favorite, but I'm happy that I have kind of expanded my choices of what I would go to when listening to an audiobook. If I had to pick one that wasn't already one of my favorites, I think I would say that the cross stitching is probably my favorite because this got easier over time, and then crocheting. It's not as tedious as the paint by numbers. It has less supplies too. Have you guys tried any of these hobbies? What are your favorite hobbies to do while listening to an audiobook? Tell me in the comments down below. And let me know if you'd like to see me try other hobbies. I have thought about doing like needle felting, sewing, quilting. Like, I have a list of hobbies that I want to try, but y'all let me know if you'd like to see me do another video like this. I will see you guys soon in a new video, and happy reading, happy listening. Hold on, I have them written down because your girl be forgetful. I have my timer next to me, and I am enthusiastic to get going. I have the enthusiasm to get this done. That was so corny. Okay, come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. Come with me, and you'll see